Hi, thank you for joining my Realize Live talk on what is the NX certification and why your company should be interested. My name is Ailey Dickerson, and I am a product design student at the University of Leeds on placement as a marketing, visualization, and UX design intern at Siemens Digital Industries Software in the UK. I've been working here full-time as an intern for the last 10 months. This presentation is to talk about my experience of learning NX from a student designer's perspective and how you can learn NX with the help of Accelerator Academy and the NX Design Associate certification. So, why learn NX as a student? First and foremost, the benefit it'll give you to any CAD Relaces coursework, allowing you to create the designs that you want. It's used by many big companies across a variety of industries. So some examples could include Red Bull, Dyson, Nissan, Aston Martin, and hundreds more. The main point, however, is on versatility. It is a CAD software for mechanical design and manufacture that allows you to create a comprehensive digital twin from the beginning of the process to the end, including modelling, simulation, animation, visualization, and help with manufacture. So 3D printing, creating molds, and more. You can even put it into virtual reality. But how important can it be as a tool within the industry? To put it in perspective, we at Siemens bet Accelerator got you to work today. And I bet a product designer was involved in everything you use since you arrived there. Accelerator technology is all around, and knowing how to use it is a powerful skill to have. So, as a product design student, I thought I'd show you my personal learning journey in NX. I started at Siemens back in July 2022, nearly a year ago, with absolutely no experience in NX, although I had a bit of experience in the competitive software. As a product design student, I had the difficulty between having an idea for a design and being able to model it or draw it and convey this to others. So for me, learning NX was about improving these skills, as well as being able to achieve more complex organic shapes in my models and open up my design abilities. I started out on my own, not using any specific learning materials. I was shown how to download NX, and then I used what I already knew about CAD software to make a start. If I got stuck, I would search online or occasionally check Accelerator Academy. After a couple of weeks of feeling like I knew my way around, I had to go at the certification. I was already certified in a different software, and so thought my skills might be of use. I did, however, narrowly fail. Following that, I decided to strictly follow the learning within Accelerator Academy, using the NX Essentials track, and resat the certification, this time passing it. Having the knowledge of the certification under my belt gave me a strong starting point to develop skills in more advanced tools within NX, and show me better workflows that I hadn't picked up from teaching myself, allowing me to realise my capabilities within NX. Once I understood the basics in NX, I continued learning from watching others and practicing in the software myself, as once you understand the basic features, it's often easier to figure out the more advanced ones. So, how did my learning process reflect in my work? These images are models I created in the first month or so of learning. They each took me a few days to complete and had a fair few error messages in the Part Navigator. I have worked on a lot of models since then though, so I'll tell you about some of my favourites. This is the coffee machine project, which I'm mentioning as it's probably the most accurate measure of my development within NX. This coffee machine was an ongoing project that started way back in my first interview. I was shown this model and asked, what would I change about it? It was explained to me that it was used as a model to demo features on, and had a lot of internal detail, however it was not representative of a real-life machine. In my first week, as a model to practice on, I was given the real thing to improve the appearance of. This was the first attempt I had. I wasn't able to remodel any of it. I did add a few different materials and a camera, but it was still the same coffee machine. I had not attempted to look at the contents of the machine either. A few weeks later, as a side project to Learning Accelerator Academy, I was asked to redesign this coffee machine, using the skills I had so far as a product designer. I didn't really know where to get started, so I started on paper, as I usually would at university. Here you can see a top-level overview of the design process I had. I moved into modelling the design, which took me about a month as I had many issues. One of the important factors of the model was the internals of it, which had all the functionality of a real coffee machine. But this meant I encountered boundaries when changing the outer shell of the machine. Alongside struggling to use new features and understand another person's work, I was learning as I went, but I eventually created this model. It was a big change from the initial one, but still had quite a lot to be adapted, as it still had a lot of the old features, and did not have any manufacturing detail, alongside the fact I had suppressed all the internal components. After New Year, I was asked to look at the coffee machine again. The marketing team wanted to use a newer version for a premiere of the next release of NX, and use it to show all the new functions, but it would need to be reworked in 10 working days. This was a change to the over a month period it took me the first time. Although I did do some rough sketches, I also used NX to block out my ideas the first time, as it gave me a better sense of form and what's possible. After quite a few iterations and discussions with other people in the team, I remodeled a final new design to be used in the premiere. This was the final model I created, which looks pretty different to the first one I made. More important than the external appearance, however, was the fact that this time the model worked. The feature navigator wasn't full of error messages, and it didn't load missing half of the parts. You might notice that the level of effort to create and time to create versus the complexity has decreased significantly. I also added a lot of manufacturing capability. For example, using Molded Part Designer, I added bosses, ribs, rectangular grooves, and snap fits, and ensured they were all aligned and were in positions that could be manufactured. I also made sure that the parts actually interacted with each other, as opposed to just two rectangles sitting on top of each other. And with a little bit of movement, as you can see, this time all the internal features could fit inside, so quite a big development in 6 months. If you want to see it in action, go and watch the What's New in the Summer 2023 release premiere video on the Siemens YouTube channel. Outside of the coffee machine project, I learned various other skills, for example working with large data sets. This was a model of the Eclipse 500 jet. Whilst I didn't model it, there were parts missing that I had to replace by taking them from elsewhere and by modelling a few myself, like this leather joystick handle. This project contained over 15,000 parts, so being able to manage it without hours of loading time was a skill I picked up, alongside material skills from the team around me. The final skill that the certification gave me was a general overall proficiency I gained from it. I was asked to design and model a helmet for a sales demo. I designed and modelled it in just under 2 days, using mainly realised shape for an appearance manager demonstration. From taking a week to create single parts to designing and modelling this whole helmet in such a short time frame showed I was able to complete projects under tight deadlines without struggling to bring my designs to life, one of my main aims from the beginning. So, what did Accelerator Academy teach me exactly, and why was it so useful? This is an overview of what will be included in the NX Essentials track, which is a recommended learning track for the certification. There are 5 main sections, covering most things you should need to know as a starter in NX. It starts off right at the beginning, covering the interface and what it all means, moves into parametric and synchronous modelling techniques, and then creating and managing assemblies, importing, exporting, etc. This is how you find the NX Essentials track in Accelerator Academy. Just filter in NX and it should come up. Accelerator Academy is not only useful for beginners, but has training on almost every topic within NX, so you can continue to benefit from it after you've sat the certification. What is in the certification itself? It took me around 30 to 40 hours in total, across a month, and a bit in amongst other projects. It really depends on how much you know already. When you're ready, it is a 2-hour pass or fail multiple choice exam, sat at your own computer. I would really encourage using Accelerator Academy to practice for this certification, as it is a test to show evidence of the knowledge you've gained from there. I myself tried to do it without it and I didn't pass, even though I could create a basic model in NX and had an understanding of CAD from elsewhere. Once you pass, you get a nice shiny badge like this, alongside a certificate you can link to your LinkedIn and use as evidence of passing. You will also get a PDF analysing your results for your interest. I have talked about the certification from a student perspective, but what about the usability of the certification in your business? If you want to start using NX in your business, it's a perfect opportunity to ensure everyone has the same base skills and way of working within the software. Or, if you've already been using NX for a while, it's a good way to refresh the basics, maybe even find out easier ways to do the tasks you've already been doing. By employing someone who's certified, you are cutting down on onboarding times. You know how much time they have spent in NX and their capabilities, on top of whatever specialised knowledge they may have, in addition to ensuring a seamless transition into your team, where everyone uses similar techniques and language around modelling. If you're a student who's interested in learning NX but you don't know where to start, you can download a free license to use NX at siemens.com/NX student. If you already have access to NX and want to know more about getting started with the certification, follow these links to view the curriculum and the certification itself. Additionally, if you are or know of any students looking to get involved with NX, you can join the Siemens Software Student Connect LinkedIn group to find out all the latest opportunities. Thank you for watching my presentation today, and thank you to the academic team and the teams in the Siemens Sheffield office for helping me bring it together. Please feel free to get in contact and send me any questions you have from this presentation.